Welcome to Little John's Yarns. Today we're going to learn how to crochet this easy diamond granny square. This square is created like every other typical granny square. The only difference is the color change. And the color change completely takes this pattern up a notch. Look how beautiful these are when they are placed together. You can put this on a sweater, a scarf, a bag. That's personally what I'm going to be making out of this pattern right here. And if it's already out, I'm going to have it linked above and down below. If it's not out yet, just give me a week or two and I'll have this bag pattern ready. But right now, this is the tutorial on this square. So the materials that I'm using for this square, I am using a 5mm crochet hook, 5mm crochet hook and worsted weight yarn. This is Caron 1 pound of yarn. If you'd like to follow along to the free written pattern, I'm going to have that link down in the description box below. And I'm also going to teach you how to sew these together so you won't have to worry about any color changing seams in the back. So enough of this. Let's hop directly in to this pattern. We're going to begin with a magic ring. If you can't do a magic ring, just chain 4, slip stitch into the first chain to form a ring. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. This chain 3 is going to count as a double crochet. We're going to place 2 more double crochets into the ring. 1, 2, and chain 1. Now begins our pattern repeat. We're going to repeat this a total of 3 times. 3 double crochet, chain 1 into the ring 3 times. I'll work it with you the first time. 3 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, chain 1. All right, repeat that pattern 2 more times. So that's 3 double crochet, chain 1. Pause your video here and I'll meet you at the other side. We've almost made it to the end of round 1 and I just completed that last chain 1 stitch, and you can pull your tail to close off the center of your work. We're going to slip stitch to join into the top of the chain 3. So let's count up 1, 2, 3 and slip stitch to join. Slip stitch into the very next stitch. Alright, now we're going to be doing a color change. So watch carefully. We're going to insert the hook into the next stitch, drop this working yarn, and we're going to pick up that secondary color and pull through with that slip stitch. Let's tighten off the work. Okay. Make sure you're carrying this yarn over so you don't have to weave in your work later. We're going to slip stitch into the very next chain 1 space. Chain 3, which counts as a double crochet. 1, 2, 3. 2 double crochets back into this space, the same space. 1, 2, chain 1, 3 double crochets back into the same space. 1, 2, and 3. You just made a corner stitch. It's just like a granny square. Now we're going to repeat to make the same shape on the other side. There's no chains in between on the side spaces. So the next corner you're going to have 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. I'll work that with you. One, 2, 3, chain 1, 3 double crochet back into the same space. 1, 2, and 3. And that is your second corner. We're going to repeat this pattern, repeat all the way across. So we are going to do 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet in each one of your chain 1 spaces. So pause your video here and I'll meet you at the other side. We've made it to the end of round number 2, and now we're going to slip stitch to join into that very first, the top of your chain 3. 1, 2, 3, and slip stitch. Slip stitch into the next stitch. And like before, now we're going to be changing colors on this very next slip stitch. So insert your hook into that next stitch, drop this yarn, and pull up your original color, yarn over, and pull through. I want you to, you're going to be carrying your second yarn all the way around your work. Alright, so now, remember we're carrying our yarn. We're going to slip stitch into the next chain 1 space and chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Counts as a double crochet. Place 2 more double crochets into this chain 1 space. 1, 2, chain 1. Our corners are always going to look the same. Now we're going to place 2 more double crochets back into this chain 1 space because we're going to switch colors on that third double crochet. So let's place those 2 double crochets back into the same space. 1, 2. Let's do a third double crochet into this chain 1 space, but stop halfway through. Start that double crochet. Oh, now stop halfway through, 2 loops on your hook. To help your yarn not get twisted and be able to disguise the yarn going around, the yarn color that's always going to be your corner color is going to be dropped all the way to the back. So remember, the corner color, which is this, let me pull it down, will always be dropped all the way to the back and carried under, like so. Drop to the back and carried under. Alright, so yarn over and transition that new color. Tighten that off. So we are in a chain 1 space. We're going to place 3 double crochets, but we're also going to be changing colors again on that third one. So let's do our 3 double crochets. Sorry, off camera. 1, 2. But quick note before we do that third double crochet, see how that yarn pushed back? You can't see it now from the front. Okay, so once again, put another double crochet to complete the 3, but stop halfway through. 2 loops on your hook. Since this is not the corner yarn, we're going to drop this one to the front and let it trail. And you'll pull up that back corner color yarn, transition, and pull through. On your corner, you're going to do 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 3 double crochet, but we're going to change colors on the third. Back into the same space. 1, 2, and the third one we're going to stop and pause and change colors halfway through. You have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to drop that yarn behind, remember, because it's the corner color yarn, and pull up that new color and yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. You can tighten it off below. Remember, you push that one behind, but you're also still trailing it. 3 double crochets into this side stitch. 1, 2, stop on that third one halfway through, drop this brown yarn forward and pull this up through, yarn over and pull through 2. And this is going to be your pattern repeat all the way around. If you're having troubles transitioning with the colors, I'm going to leave a timestamp on where that starts so you can continue exactly the way I did. We've almost made it to the end of round number 3, and I put the last 2 double crochets into the chain 1 space. So I'm going to transition colors again on that third double crochet into that space. Stop halfway through. We're going to drop this yarn and pull up the one through the back, yarn over and pull through those 2 on your hook. Tighten it up, and we're going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain to join. 1, 2, 3 to begin our last round. Remember, we're still trailing with this second color behind. Slip stitch into the very next stitch. Slip stitch into the next stitch, but we're going to transition colors. Slip stitch. This yarn is going to be dropped to the front and pull up that second color and complete your slip stitch. Slip stitch again into the chain 1 space. And let's start working our corner as usual. We're going to do a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, carry that yarn behind, don't forget, 2 double crochets back into the space, 1, 2, chain 1 as I get some more yarn, 3 more double crochets back into this chain 1 space. And as usual, we're going to be transitioning colors. 1, 2, third one, 3, stop halfway through. Alright, since this mine is brown, is my corner color, I'm going to drop that behind the work. Behind. And change the colors. Yarn over, pull through 2. Tighten that up. So remember, like before, we're going to push it behind and over, like a little L from the back. We're going to place 3 double crochets into the side stitch. 1, 2, and 3. 3 double crochets into the next chain 1 space. 1, 2. We're going to change color on this third one. Halfway through, drop. This color comes to the front, and that corner color is coming up from the back. Yarn over and pull through 2. Tighten off that work. Now let's do our corner stitch as usual. We're going to place 3 double crochet, chain 1, 3 double crochet into this space. I'll work it with you. I'm probably going to be moving a little bit faster. You know how to do corners. There's no, here we go. 1, 2, 3, chain 1, 3 more back in, 1, 2, and on the third one we're changing colors just like before. Stop halfway through, drop this one behind, pull up your new yarn, yarn over, pull through 2. Let's tighten that up. And once again, 3 double crochets into this space because it's the side. 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets into the next space. We'll be changing colors on the third. 1, 2, oh, there's 3. I'm going to have to stop. This one goes to the front, and the corner color is going to come up from the back. We're going to yarn over and pull through those 2 loops. Let's tighten it up some. And then you'll work your corner sections just as you did over here. It's going to be the pattern repeat all the way around. And if you're still confused about the color changes, I'll leave a timestamp so you can work that corner the same way 2 more times. Alright, pause your video here and I'll meet you at that very last section. We've almost made it to the end of round number 4, and I completed those last 2 double crochets. And for the 3rd double crochet, you don't have to change colors. So let's do that together. Put that 3rd double crochet into that last stitch. And now you're just going to slip stitch the join into the top of the chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And fasten off your work. And here's what it looks like. I'm going to quickly show you how to sew your squares together so you won't see any seams going around them. I jumped up to a 5.5mm crochet hook because it makes my stitches less tight, because we'll be slip stitching these together. We're going to take our 2 squares and we're going to put the right sides together. So what's showing now on the opposite sides are the wrong sides of your work. I am using the secondary color, the color that matches the corners, to sew. Alright, so stick your crochet hook into any one of your chain 1 spaces and the chain 1 space of your second square. And let's join our new yarn. Okay, to make this work, we are going to be working into the front loops of your first panel and the back loops of your back panel. So front loops of your front panel, back loops of your back panel. That makes sense? I know it's kind of hard to see with this dark yarn, but let's go into that very first loop. Now go into the back loop of the opposite side and complete your slip stitch. We're going to do it again. Very hard to see. Front loop, excuse me. Back loop and slip stitch. Front loop, back loop, and slip stitch. Alright, it's going to be a little bit easier to see now on this lighter yarn. Alright, we're going to go into the front loop. See the front loop? And the back loop of the next one. And slip stitch. You're just going to do that all the way across. Front loop, back loop, slip stitch. And when you flip your work over, you will not see the seam going down, because these the secondary loops that we didn't work into are going to be showing on the front side. Alright, I hope this helped you out. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure you follow along to my other tutorials, and if my crochet bag pattern is out, I'm going to leave that linked above. Alright guys, I'll see you all on the very next tutorial. Bye guys.